is Kim Thomas's email to Larry Walworth. Soza Church does not house people. The primary use of the building is still as a church. The warming center is operated by Share the Warmth of Hillsdale County under an agreement at the Soza Church building and provides emergency shelter, food, and clothing between November 1st to April 1st. The individuals served are not permitted to stay past 9 a.m. or arrive before 6 p.m. They are not provided with 24-hour accommodations. They can't receive mail or register to vote at the church or anything else which would imply the church is their primary resident. This is an ancillary use of the church consistent with the overall mission and common practices at many churches, even if not advertised. This is not a change in the primary use of the building, so no special permits were required. There were permits pulled with the county to make alterations to the building by Sozo Church, or Sozo, which improved the accommodations available to the shelter users. But those alterations were not specifically required to allow the operation of an emergency shelter. Share the Warmth has discussed purchasing and renovating a building of their own for year-round permanent shelter. This would require permits and zoning approval if that is the primary use of the building, as I have discussed with their director. My understanding is that their plan, if they acquire their own building, is to still only to provide overnight emergency shelter. Hope Harbor, by comparison, is proposing to provide transitional housing in a boarding house dormitory style accommodations, where people can establish non-transient residence while presumably trying to find more permanent individually occupied housing. This will allow them to have an address where they can receive mail, register to vote, and not be required to carry all of their worldly belongings with them every day. That was the end of the email from Ms. Thomas, but I think what she points out here is fairly clear, that they're saying that Hope Harbor or Camp Hope was being treated differently, but they're not being treated differently because of the same, because they're clearly different based on their purpose